Bienvenidos! Today we're going to talk about forming the present subjunctive in Spanish. The present subjunctive is a verb form that's used when we're talking about things that aren't fact. Opinions, emotions. It's not really a tense because tense talks about when things happen, whereas subjunctive talks about whether or not something is fact. If it's not a fact, then we don't use the present indicative, we use the subjunctive because it's not something that's actually happened or happening. Now, to form the present subjunctive, it's fairly easy. There are irregulars, but if you know the yo form of the present indicative of a verb, then forming the present subjunctive is fairly easy. First, you take the stem of the present indicative yo form of the verb, drop the O, and add the endings on. For AR verbs, the subjunctive endings are a, es, hemos, en. For IR and ER verbs, the endings are a, as, amos, an. For IR stem changing verbs, in the nosotros form only, the E to I and E to IE stem changers, we change the E to I. This is in the nosotros form of the subjunctive for E to I and E to IE stem changing verbs. In the nosotros form of O to UE stem changing verbs, we change the O to U. For verbs that end in CAR, we change the C to QU. For verbs that end in GAR, we change the G to GU. And for verbs that end in ZAR, we change the Z to C. So let's look at some examples. Espero que tengas un buen fin de semana. I hope that you would have a good weekend. Now, we're setting the subjunctive because we're saying I hope. This is emotion. This is something that's not happened yet. I hope, yo espero que, I hope that you would have. Okay, tengas is in the subjunctive here because it's not something that's fact. It's not a fact. Espero que tengas. And what we've done here to form the subjunctive, we've taken the yo form of tener, drop the O, and added the to ending. Let's see, it's tener is an ER verb, we took the yo form, and so we just add AS. Tengas. Espero que tengas un buen fin de semana. So here we have the phrase that's setting up the need for subjunctive. And then we have our subjunctive verb. Asisto a clases en la universidad para que me gradúe. Okay? I attend classes at the university for the purpose of, or the objective of, that I would graduate. Okay? The graduating part is in the subjunctive here because this is something that I'm doing for the purpose of graduating. It's something that I want to happen. So, graduarse is our subjunctive verb here, and it is a AR verb. So we take the yo form, graduo, and add for the AR verb the A ending because it's in the yo form, and because it has a vowel in the ending, we have to add an accent mark. Para que me gradúe. And the phrase setting this up is really not in the sentence. It's the idea that I'm doing this so that someday I would graduate. That's the hope. Okay? So it's the whole feeling of the sentence. Something that we want to happen. Let's look at another example. No es verdad que yo sepa hablar francés. It's not true that I know how to speak French. Okay? So no es verdad is telling us, this is not going to be a fact. Whatever it is I'm going to say is not going to be a fact. And then yo sepa is our subjunctive verb because this is something that's not fact. It's not true that I know how to speak French. Sepa is the subjunctive form of saber, and it is irregular. There are irregulars in the forming the subjunctive, and they are dar, estar, ir, haber, saber, and ser. So sepa is irregular, and this is the phrase that sets it up. Es posible que Armando saque una nota buena. It's possible that Armando would get a good grade in class. It's not a fact though, so it's something that's uncertain. There's doubt here. So that's why we're using the subjunctive in this sentence. So the setup for the subjunctive is it's possible. This is saying, it's not a fact. And then saque is our subjunctive verb. And it's the CAR verb. So we change the C to QU and then add our ending. Sacar is an AR verb. And saque would be the ending for the usted, ustedes. Es posible que Armando saque una buena nota. Well, it's the el form, so it'd be Armando saque. Es bueno que durmamos 8 horas por la noche. Okay, this is an opinion. It's good that, es bueno que, that we would sleep for 8 hours a night. Durmamos is our subjunctive verb. It's the nosotros form. It's a U-E stem changer. Dormir. For the O to U stem changers, we change the O to U. Okay? So for dormir, we're changing the O to U and then adding, it's an IR verb. For IR verbs, we add the amos ending. Durmamos. So that's why the O becomes a U, because it's a UE stem changer. Quiero una casa que esté cerca de la universidad. I want. This is emotion here. This is not a fact. So it's something that I want. Oops. Quiero is saying this is not a fact. It's something that I want. It doesn't necessarily exist. Quiero una casa que esté. That would be located close to the university. Oh, cerca de mi trabajo. Okay, we're close to work. So, quiero una casa is setting up the need for the subjunctive, and then we have estar, esté, cerca de mi trabajo.